Most tales I tell are for fun and joy, perhaps a sense of interest or general curiosity of the world around us. But today, I bear you a tale that acts more as a warning. For something is coming, a wave of ferocious monsters that live only to consume and destroy all in their path. Something we must all rally against and destroy, for if they are to gain any more ground, it would surely spell the end for all of us. I speak of the things known as dwellers, and today I wish to tell you about their horrid nature as well as their queen. Currently found nestled deep beneath the cracks of the earth within the Valkyrian mountain range, and luckily for us, they are being contained there for now by an allegiance of the Stormraisers of the Sanctuary and a large regiment of the Skeldian Southern Vard. The creatures still send wave after wave of their own kind to blast at the gate, but it holds for now. They are grotesque abominations that you can hardly even class as individual entities, for they are in truth a hive mind. Many of the drones will self-destructively charge at whatever the hive wants dead, not caring in the slightest for their own safety, ripping and tearing through flesh with the many tools at their disposal. See, I'd like to get into their biology for a moment, for they are one of the most diverse array of beasts you will find that are technically the same species. The one thing that they all share is their base shape and form. They are essentially little more than a body with a single, massive maw, and a layer of scales that varies in size and number depending on the form. They also have a mass of writhing tentacles behind them that also vary in size and number. Every breed of the beast is also capable of a toxic, venomous bite that will surely end a man swiftly. Although a dragon might survive several of these bites if they are treated shortly after the battle, but one bite gone untreated will end it surely. They are all psychically linked to one another, and they get their orders all at once and instantly, making them one of the most coordinated forces on the land. They are all also capable of flight and are beyond fast to an insane degree, making just armed forces with anything less than a dragon almost completely incapable of fighting back. The core drone of the Dwellers is the most common form, relying purely on their numbers to overwhelm their foe. Swarms of them can number in the thousands per individual they are facing, trying to hold them off, and they are the most mindless and base member of the breed. No special tricks with this one other than their sheer numbers. They usually take on a more black and orange hue, and their body is about that of a fully grown man, though their tentacles make them much longer. But the drone is not the first they send into the fray. The drones are the backbone of the force. The first that they send are known to the soldiers as the Poisoner, but I like to dub it the Corruptor, for its role is to be the first to attack and poison the land before it. These foul ones constantly emit a gas of toxic deluge that withers the very ground around them, making it unbreathable for all that is not them. They are essentially terraforming the land to be a barren waste, taking on a green hue and having less but much longer tentacles than most other dwellers. They are the first sign of a full-scale invasion, and are almost twice the size of some dragons. But behind the drones are known as the Spitters, fewer in number and greater in size, taking on a hue of blue and arriving as the second most numerous force. They act as a backup wave, almost bizarrely like an artillery piece. As their name implies, they are capable of using their toxic venom as a projectile, akin to dragons with fire, and their uniformity makes them hard to dodge this volley of hellish black acid. And lastly are the titanic members of their brood, the fewest in their number, but still outnumbering all matching forces, taking on a darker red hue and colossal in comparison to almost everything else, including dwellers. They are used to power through larger targets, and are usually only seen when a settlement is the target of the horde. Their hide and scales are larger and thicker than all the other dwellers, and they are usually flanked by all other breeds as a sort of backup gang to keep them safe for their target. They usually send few of these per wave, and they are the last to strike, as the role is to take out all that was too big for the drones to finish. That is the last of the types, but there is more I wish to speak of them. As you see, they are not natural. In fact, they are outright created. They did not evolve, but were always made to be so specific. See, the main reason I tell you the tale of the Dwellers, the main reason I spread this tale, is in essence to save the world. Because the longer they are left to fester, the more land that falls to them, the stronger they become in an endless snowball of power and growth in their number. Everyone willing and able to fight them should risk it all to save humanity. See, Dwellers live underground, deep beneath the rock and stone, and once a land is fully under their control, they will start to create these organic cocoons underground, where most Dwellers can be sprung forth. These valleys of cocoons can be near endless, and only one creates a singular Dweller, but they can be reused. How exactly they do this is unknown, for close to none have survived even looking deep within their domain. But my theory is that after a conquest, they will gather all organic material and biomass and collect it, using it to make more Dwellers. This would also explain why they care so little for their own losses, for if they are to win the battle, they can reuse their own corpses, as well as that of their foes. But if you have heard anything about the Dwellers at this point, you might be thinking about one major thing I have yet to mention, and that is about the Dweller Queen. Well, brace for this one, for this is a massive fact that I have yet to share with you. See, the Dweller Queen isn't actually a Dweller at all. She's not even tangentially related to the beings that she has power over. See, it is unknown how this monstrosity managed to do it, but they somehow hijacked the hive mind and are now acting as its ruler. Perhaps there was another version of Dweller that acted as a sort of hive mind, or maybe an amplifier that is now redundant, so the current queen got rid of them. And gods forbid, there is a chance that there is another colony of Dwellers out there, and they would act completely differently from the one that we know for this reason. And what the queen herself actually is also unknown. There are no other known members of her kind. Perhaps she is unique, and there is nothing like her out there. Or maybe, and perhaps more worryingly, there are others that control other Dweller colonies, making them one of the biggest threats that are out there, and one of the main reasons we must eradicate this one before anything should happen. See, if there is a much larger colony out there, and we have to spread some forces on this one, we would surely be doomed. We must ready for its approach, should that be a possibility. And yet, the plot thickens with yet another scary thought and idea for you. See, the Queen, in their most recent attacks on Hell's Breach, just below the Valkyrian Sanctuary, has become sloppy, so to speak. Their strategy has been lacking. They've been sending wave after wave of their number to what is downright useless targets. The reason I fear for this is the same reason she has been angrily screaming at the sky constantly. And I think I now realize why that is. See, her psychic power is immense, but it is not limitless. In fact, I would state that there are quite a few beings greater than her already. Almost any legendary dragon with these capabilities could top her, although to be fair, half of them are demigods. But the reason I bring this up is it's becoming clearer and clearer to me that something else is influencing the Queen, if not flat out controlling her. It would be very obvious now to spread eastward, past the Valkyrian Sanctuary. You do not need to conquer the whole of the mountain range to spread forward. But for some reason, the Queen is clear-cut focused on the Valkyrian Sanctuary. There is something about it that she is sending every resource to, while fighting herself. It is very clear that something else wants the sanctuary and needs the Dwellers to clear it out, and are using the Queen to do so. But this leaves out the terrifying thought. Who is controlling her? This is a completely unknown that I fear has a very dark ulterior motive behind it. This does have one saving grace, for it implies that we are able to, if not control the dwellers, at least guide them to leave inhabited lands. Perhaps we can use it to destroy them somehow. Regardless, it gives us the implication that they are not as powerful as they seem. But I am still greatly fearful of the effect, and do not think we should risk their survival. Eradication is still the best course, then we could learn who is controlling them. Still, little is known for sure, but I would not be surprised if the real threat has yet to show their face. But that does not give us room to underestimate this foe. It does not matter if the endless wave is being manipulated by someone else, if it is still an endless wave of beasts that consume and spread in endless number, they shall surely bring death to us, and that is something we shall not allow. Even the smallest of Volcarian tribes and greatest of Skaldian cities have put aside their differences and see the wisdom in these words. In fact, some minor phantom temples and a lot of marauders just seeking coin have been willing to help in this endeavor. And I pray every order of Dragoneers out there as well also helps us in this endeavor before it is too late. So, spread the word as far and wide as you can, for if we do not unite against our petty squabbles for land and useless trinkets, we will all surely fall. So go out there and tell everyone of these beasts that are coming. Thank you for listening to my tales. I'm the Ashspawn. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. It would really mean a lot to me. But seriously though, why are you still here? Go and tell people about these monsters. Till next we meet, fellow traveller, have a good day.